Hello and welcome to this month's guided reading with me, Becca Harrison, for May 2026. How are you? How was April for you? It was quite a ride for a lot of us on the old path of growth and awareness, or just everyone probably, whether they were aware of it or not. So yeah, it was quite a lot, April. There was lots of forward momentum. We are in Year of the Horse, so there was a sense of moving forward, but at the same time, it could feel quite overwhelming at points. So if you're feeling a little bit exhausted and under the weather, then yeah, that's quite a few people are feeling a bit like that at the moment. So take care, look after yourselves. May does promise a little bit more of a steady energy where we can. So yeah, now that we've moved through that intensity of April, we can start to breathe a little bit. But there is some stuff going on. So the main message of May is trust the process, that there is a plan to the chaos. So things might not necessarily feel like they're going your way or working out the way you want them to, but we have to try and remember that there's a bigger picture. And unless you're getting really some sort of inner message to do something else, just go with it. So if you're bringing in a project, or you're moving, or you're changing jobs, or things are happening with relationships, trust that that there is a wisdom there. And again, when we look back sometimes at points in our life, we can see why things happened. So try and keep out your own way. Put out intentions, put out, your dreams, your goals, but remember that, things have to happen a certain order because we are little cogs in the whole wheel of the cosmos. So we have a little bit of power in there, but ultimately the universe knows best. So something might be falling apart right now, but trust that that needs to happen for the new to come in. So again, we're in this kind of in-between transformative, like letting go of the old, but also allowing some new stuff in. So it has been quite a year of new beginnings, but there is still fallout from letting go, and you might still be processing grief or old energy from the changes. We've just had a full moon in Scorpio, old wounds coming up. A lot to do with the way we communicate with other people and speak our truth. So that might resonate. Today, on May the 6th, it's about Pluto going retrograde. So really starting to let go of the old and believing that there is a new path to go forward along. But yeah, it might feel uncomfortable right now because, again, it's that sort of Tower card in the tarot, falling out of the old structures. I mean, we're seeing on a global level as well. A lot of things are falling, crumbling. But there is new shoots coming through. So it's like the weeds are being pushed up. On the 14th, the energy is very much about projects starting to go forward. So if you have been wanting something to move forward, there's new momentum around the 14th, which is great to know. So have a little bit of patience for the first couple of weeks of the month, but then know that the second half of the month is a bit more forward going. It's really about kind of trying to accept where we are, not forcing the river, going with the flow. We have a new moon on the 16th in Taurus, which is all about opportunity as well. So sort of doors opening around that time. And then at the end of the month, we have our second full moon for the month in Sagittarius. And this is going to give us a little bit of space to breathe and be able to sort of tune back into the sense of wonder. It hasn't been easy to sort of tune into wonder the last few weeks and months because it's been quite intense. It's like we're all being sort of squashed in a vice. Well, not all of us maybe, but quite a lot of us, I think, have felt like that. But there is this sense of kind of expansion at the end of the month, so that's something good to hang on to. So I'm using the Chakra Wisdom Oracle Guidebook by Tori Hartman, which I do most of my readings for. So I've done a spread already. I've done a card for each week of the month. The first one for this week is abundance. So that's a nice card. And abundance isn't always about money. It might be to do with health or energy or creativity or joy or peace. So whatever you want, whatever you need to call in, and it could be money, it's about being open. So I like to often start my day like opening up my arms, if you can see, to the universe and just being open to what the universe wants to give to me, what I need, and being spacious around what I need, not being too sort of trying to be too prescriptive, because sometimes we think we might need something and actually something else is what we need. But it's really about being grateful as well for what we have already, as opposed to focusing on lack. I think there's something very powerful about setting intentions, but if we're focusing on it not coming at the right time, then we're blocking what's trying to get to us. So this is also a solar plexus card. So it could be a little bit about working on that solar plexus. If you've had a lot on your plate, it's the solar plexus that can get jammed up, and that can make us feel sort of frustrated, tired, fatigued, under the weather, more susceptible to illness. So make sure that that little solar plexus is getting nourished. Moving into the second week, we have the grief card. Now, grief doesn't always mean loss of a person, although that might pertain to you. It could be some old griefs coming up from losing someone a long time ago. But grief also is that sense of letting go of the old. So it could be that some feelings are coming up around letting go of a relationship or a job. Even if you know these things are not right and you've let go of them for a good reason, there's still a process because our systems have been used to them and we still need to honor our hearts. And that's the color. It's a green chakra, heart chakra card. And it could be, she's obviously lost her dog. Has she lost her dog? Looks like it. So if you've lost a pet, look after your heart, sending love to you today. So yeah, it's really about being sensitive to your feelings and allowing your feelings and remembering that the more we allow them, the more they'll pass through, finding ways to process those feelings, whether it's talking to a friend or a therapist or some creativity, meditation, getting into nature, giving your stress and sadness to the trees. They'll always take it. It's not going to harm them. Then we move into the third week and we have perception. And this card is a lady, she's got butterflies around her and a little bride. And again, it's very much heart chakra card, and there's a sort of gem glowing. I'm going to look at this card. I'm interested. Let's unpack this one a little bit. Perception. It's all about perception, isn't it? All about perception. Emerald stone, the heart knows what the eyes cannot see. So it says, often our journey brings us full circle, leaving us to wonder why things happen. Emerald stone teaches us to follow through on whatever goes before us, or on whatever is before us. Going back is not an option. So that's interesting, isn't it? And the questions here, what in my life needs tending to? How good will I allow myself to feel? Transformation in the heart, change in perception, the unknown, promise of a richer experience. Keywords are beauty, open-heartedness, and appreciation. So this is a really lovely card about, changing your perception. And so often our little monkey minds or critical minds will tell us that something's wrong, but maybe there is another way to look at it. And actually maybe things are happening that we don't understand on a deeper level or a higher level. So trying not to, again, get in our own way, try not to block the process. Breathe. Don't let that little noggin take over, because it will if you let it. It doesn't always tell us good things, does it? As I said to my little laddie this morning, sometimes our brain scares us and we need to say, no brain, that's not a good thought. That doesn't make me feel good. Shush now. Pipe down. Right, so our last card for the last week of the month is the creation card. And it's got this lovely kind of wise person, kind of energy holding an orb in their hand with all this lovely energy coming around, swirling around them, and the tree, looks like maybe it's a silver birch. Who knows? Here we go, creation, right towards the end. I think it might be the last card of the pack. So it says here, express yourself in an artistic way. It's time to make decisions. Am I waiting for someone's permission to create my life? What do I need in order to see in order to claim my own gifts? It's about opening to magic, lasting transformation, the divine feminine, awakening creativity, finding your muse and owning your gifts. The keywords are creativity, muse, and magic. So this is a card all about magic. And it's quite interesting when I was talking about that full moon at the end of this month being a bit more about wonder and awe. So maybe this is that energy that's coming in, reminding us that, not everything is as it seems. And being open to a little bit of magic and a little bit of something special. So you might have some interesting encounters that week. You might go into nature and find some sort of sense of connection to some elemental being, like I do believe in fairies. So maybe I'm going to go and dance with some fairies at the end of the month. Who knows? But yes, we create our lives. We co-create. So remembering that things happen for us, not to us, and that we do have a little bit of a say out there. We can put out intentions. The mind is powerful. So what do you want to create? What do you want to bring into your life? That's what this card is asking. All right, well, listen, lots of love to you on the path, and thank you for tuning in with me. Lots going on this end. I am trying to keep up with my readings, so bear with. But yes, if anyone has any questions about this reading or wants to get in touch, I do readings online and in person, one-to-one readings. I can do small group readings. So yeah, You can get in touch if that appeals to you, but otherwise, I hope this reading has given you something, and I wish you a lovely rest of May. Big love. Take care.